folks, good afternoon, good morning, good night, depending on what time you're looking at this, either live or if you're listening to the recording. Thank you for joining us for a bit of information session. My name is Shedron Collins. I'm the General Manager for Youth Business Trinidad and Tobago, and we're focused on empowering young persons to build profitable but more sustainable businesses as well, right? So why we're doing this, and recently for Youth Business Trinidad and Tobago, our focus has been around those ESGs, right? How could we get entrepreneurs who either have a business already around environmental and social, but also thinking about their governance around their business, start developing that type of business, whether it's solely focused on that, or if you're someone who is in those industries, helping you develop and empowering you to develop those businesses. So we're always looking for opportunities, whether it be to partner or to work with other organizations to coordinate type of these efforts. So this Waste Management Accelerator, this Caribbean Waste Management Accelerator is a perfect fit for YBTT. And to talk a little bit about why we're not doing this alone, right? And we can't do this alone because partnerships and great partnerships help us exceed and move forward. I always say in entrepreneurship, 1 + 1 is 3, right? So it's not just a matter of YBTT delivering a program or our partners who we're going to introduce one by one delivering a program, but how could we jointly come together to see how we can most benefit this entire sector as well as this entire community of entrepreneurs. So firstly, I want to bring on Shan. And you'll see her pop up on the screen in a few. Right, so Shan, good afternoon, right?
Good afternoon, Shedron.
That's for sake, I'm not going to be introducing anyone today outside of their first name, right? And I'll pass it on to them to kind of talk about who they are, a little bit about their organization. And Shan, I have a little even more questions for you, right? So tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about Siel Environmental, and you know, this whole thing is about waste management. And the sector, and sometimes the sector can be a gray area in terms of who's really in the sector, who's not in the sector. But I want to hear from you, what is really waste management and what does it mean for the Caribbean? So Shan?
Thank you very much, Shedron, and good afternoon, everybody. If you are catching this live, welcome. Thank you for your interest in the Waste Management Accelerator program. And if you're not catching up live, of course, you could always catch the replay to get the more information about the program. So I am Shan Young. I am the founder and CEO of a social enterprise called Siel Environmental that is based right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And we specialize in waste management, education, and training services. So when the opportunity came up to be a program partner, I mean, as the young people say less. We were already on board from the very beginning because we see this as an opportunity for entrepreneurs like yourself who are in the waste management sector to grow, to develop, and to thrive, not just survive. And so it's really important for programs like these to support you on your journey, and we are super excited that we get to be a part of it. So to answer one of the questions that Shedron just asked is, what is waste management really? Because oftentimes people might just see the word waste and say, oh yeah, that's me. But when you look at what your business is, it really has nothing to do with waste management. We're being honest on this live today, right? So waste, when you think of waste management, it involves several processes. So it's the generation, the treatment, the processing, the transportation, the education, the disposal. So all of those activities as it pertains to waste is what makes up waste management, even including the distribution of waste as well. Because you might think, distribution, Shan, who's sharing waste? Yes, it happens. People do collect waste from other countries to support the activities that they are doing. We call that the transboundary movement of waste. So if your business fits in one of those spaces, in the generation, in the collection, in the treatment, in the processing, in the distribution, in the education, in the disposal, which would incorporate recycling, repurposing as well, or reuse, we invite you, if you have not applied yet, to really get your foot in the door, because this is an opportunity you do not want to miss.
All right. Thank you, Shan. But before you go, all right, I know, well, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about Siel Environmental before you get into it, before you leave. Right, but we'll have you back again at the ending to talk a little bit more about the program.
Yeah, so how could I not talk about my own organization? Okay, I'm mad. Crazy. Yes, maybe it's a carnival, spirits in the air, something. But so Siel Environmental, we have been in existence for the last 7 years. And as I mentioned, we're really an education company, and we do that via a variety of means. So we have 3 main areas that we work in. So we have our waste education and literacy program for children, and I'm also a children's book author. So we sell our children's books and we teach children about waste and where it all goes and how they can be more responsible citizens. We also have online course programs. So for me, it is important that waste is learned in a non-technical format, easy to digest way that is fun and relatable. So we offer online courses, like we teach you how to compost at home. That program was one of our flagship programs, and it's also now available on the Udemy platform. Yes, your girl doing big things. So now you can go on Udemy and you have access to learn how to compost at home and to answer all of those questions you might have lurking in your head about composting. And we also have other course programs that we are building and developing. And then the other category that we work in is with businesses, coaching and consulting with businesses on waste, specifically around food waste. That is really my jam, although I have 17 years of experience in this space. So I know a lot about all the things, but what I enjoy most is dealing with food waste as well. So we provide services. We actually also have, right now we're having a series of master classes. On next one, we finished food waste. We're now going into social marketing, because as an educator, it's really important that we change how we educate about waste. But I realize in the Caribbean, we tend to do the same things over and over and over, and watching the people with a side eye and realizing, but they're not doing anything different. It's because we have not changed. And so I also have a social marketing masterclass and we have one on ESG as it pertains to waste, and then we have another one on green entrepreneurship. So we try to have many touch points to people at varying levels. So it provides a good entry point if you want to do waste management as your career, or you want to go to university level, but you've never been exposed to waste before. We are the organization that provides those kinds of services and products to you, to your family, to your loved ones as well. So it was really important for us to be a part of this initiative, because I have been working in waste so long. And one of the things that I said in my post about the class is this Accelerator program is a program that I wanted, or I was looking for when I just started out. Of course, experience does what it does, but I really, really want to encourage you guys to get involved and apply and be a part of the program. Of course, if you have any other questions about Siel, you can follow us right here on Facebook and Instagram as well.
And if you have any questions about the program as well, feel free to message.
Yes, please send them my way.
Right, and I think it was important for us at Youth Business not just to execute a waste management accelerator, but also partner with persons within the sector so they can help us know what we're doing. Right? So we can make sure that the sector is really, and the delivery of the program is really geared towards persons within the sector. I think that is the most important part here. So Jan, thank you, and I'll bring you back a little bit later on when we really want to talk about what the program is about and what it entails from there. So this whole program has been made possible through partnerships that we spoke about from before. So our next person that I want to bring on I think, Cesar, we've been talking for, what, a year and plus about executing this program. And while we're piloting the program here in the Caribbean and in Trinidad specifically for the first time, the program has been probably in its third iteration and third cohort now and execution. So I really want to hear from you a bit about Circulate Capital, but also a bit about the program and its past successes.
Sure. And thanks, Sharon. And well, hello to everybody. Thanks for joining. Let me start talking a little bit about the organization, Circulate Capital, and what we do and why are we here, right? So we are an impact growth fund, and we're focused on promoting and improving the plastics circular economy. So our thesis at the end of the day is to avoid plastics ending up in our oceans. And for that, we have to do a lot of things that start from collection all the way to processing and proper disposal. So that's what we focus. This fund started in Southeast Asia, where we have already deployed over $100 million of investment in multiple solutions. For example, we invested in a PET collection system in Indonesia that works in small places and forms a way to collect a lot of plastic there, helping not only to decrease the volume of plastics going into landfills and so on, but also giving people a possibility and an additional income in these kind of regions. Also, we invested in the first bottle-to-bottle PET processor in India, and other examples like a flexible solution that is making roof tiles with candy wrappers and this kind of plastics. So we're very interested in helping to avoid the plastics, but also to help the people around that. Because a lot of waste management includes all of us, right? And many times it includes the base of the pyramid. So we also are very interested in not only achieving our goals with the plastic prevented on going to the ocean, but also helping the people that live out of that. So having said that, why are we here, right? I talked about Southeast Asia and so on. Well, now we're looking at Latin America and the Caribbean because unfortunately, we are in second place on the largest polluters of the oceans. So we generate thousands of tons per day that are leaked into the ocean. So it is very important for us to prevent that to happening. So what we're doing right now is we are providing acceleration and programs like this one to ensure the entrepreneurs have better tools in their hands. So what we want is that we want these entrepreneurs to have better management skills, to become part of a larger network of entrepreneurs that are within the same sector and are experiencing the same pains. We have seen that many people in the waste management sector and the circular economy sector act independently. And it is very important to have a network that helps you move forward and helps you achieve your goals and face any problems. And at the end, we also want that people that go through this program have the knowledge of what does raising capital means. Because at the end of the day, we're a fund and we want companies that are capable to raise capital. What do I mean by raising capital is to go out there and finding partners that will be able to give you some money or part of the or participate within your company. And for that, you need some knowledge on how to manage your company, on finances, on marketing, and a lot of things. So we want for this sector to become more business savvy, more knowledgeable, and at the end, more stronger. So that's part of what we want. For this, we created this online program. We have put there a lot of information. We divided it into 9 modules. With each module has a different topic that is, we think, very important for entrepreneurs in this sector. Like I mentioned, finances, marketing, strategy. There you will see that the modules ahead, but we have selected these modules specifically for this sector, specifically for this region, and we have also included in each of these sectors examples that apply directly to the sector. Because in many spaces you will see that they use examples for like, oh, Google does this or Uber does that. Yes, but you know, I'm a 4-people company. I'm not Google, I'm not Uber. How can I land this in a company my size? So we find examples to actually implement this in smaller companies. And just to wrap this up, this is not our first cohort. We have done this with over 60 companies in Latin America and the Caribbean. This is our first one in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're very happy to see how this comes out. Our previous cohorts have been very successful. Companies that have gone through the program and have become part of the network have found good partners, good friends, and they have learned from each other. We're firm believers that having a strong network around you will help you go through any challenge a lot easier. They have already gone through that, and you can access to your network, ask for help, and this makes life easier for an entrepreneur that already has so much in their hands. Well, having said that, I'm very happy to be launching this program with Youth Business Trinidad and Tobago. And I don't know, Shadron, do you have any other questions before I introduce Kevin?
I think we can introduce Kevin, and then we can jump straight into any questions I have for both of you on together.
Awesome. So without further ado, I want to present Kevin. He is the founder and CEO of Fuego del Sol, a company from Haiti. But well, I'll let Kevin talk a little bit about his company and his experience in the previous cohort that we had in the Caribbean. The mic is yours, Kevin.
Hello. Hello, yes, thank you. Thanks, Cesar. Thanks, Shadron. And thanks. So yes, my company that I co-founded with Franz Fanfan is based in Haiti and in the Dominican Republic. And from what I understand about the work that's being done in the upcoming opportunity, there's so much available in the Caribbean in the field, in the sector of waste management. Our particular organization, our company, works both in recycling of paper and in collecting plastic with the goal of recycling it. Basically, when you have an idea and a concept that you think could eventually make a substantial income in the sector of recycling, the best way to find out if your idea could really work for you is to compare it with other ideas, to learn from the market and to learn from ideas that have come before you and other ideas that are currently in development. And that's one of the most amazing things about the program that we're talking about today, because you get to meet your fellow developers and you get to meet people who have gone down this road before and are available to give you the feedback that's so crucial in going from just an idea to the point where you could actually market it and it could long-term become your business. We've been working in a number of different related ecological sectors in Haiti, and we found the key to addressing issues such as the huge amount of plastics in our oceans is going to the source and making sure that those plastics don't end up in the ocean in the first place. It's very easy to stop plastic from getting to the ocean. It's much more difficult to clean the ocean of the plastic, but globally it's a huge problem. We also work with a network called Precious Plastic because the concept is that plastic could be making somebody money. So one of the sectors we're working on now is developing a way to melt plastic that would otherwise be a waste product and turn it into new products. including, for example, school desks for children or buckets, so you could do more handy activities. So what we're doing is taking ideas and turning them into action. And that's what the circular economy programming that Cesar's been talking about and that this program is introducing can help you do. Take an idea, see if it can work. If it can work, how can you grow it? How can you make it a business? And how can you turn it into an opportunity that could not just give you a job, but potentially give a job to your friends or other people in the future? And maybe someday you can have a full business.
All right, great, Kevin. Thank you. So Kevin, having gone through the program and specifically the platform, what would you say is your biggest takeaway? What is something that you still use today or remember using all the time?
Well, I think that it tends to be the fact that people who have the biggest dreams don't tend to have the best connection to the numbers that would make those dreams possible. And I would say the big picture takeaway from this entire program is allowing your idea, as I mentioned, to be evaluated, but really in detail. So for example, if you can recognize that, say, you could turn plastics, as I mentioned, into school desks, and perhaps you have an idea for a technology to do that cleanly. The question is, where is the funding going to come from to make that possible? And then once you have the funding to get started, is it an idea that can actually long-term make money? And can you pay people to do the jobs that you're creating? It's a complete structure that you need to follow. And a program like this can help you engage that structure to take a dream, which has a very positive goal, and we all have our hearts in the right place. Can you make that a viable business? And that's the core purpose, I think, of this circular economy education. Can you actually turn it into something that long-term can benefit you, can benefit people, and can you avoid making the mistakes that other people have made in your sector in the past? Because without connection with the recycling sector, a recycling idea can make the same mistakes that similar ideas have made in the past. So, Shedrin, I think that the biggest takeaway is, if you really are ready to take your idea and go with it, make it your job, make it your future, become an entrepreneur, you can't do it alone. You need to do it as a part of a team, and this program can provide you that team.
Right, great, excellent takeaway. And I know, Cesar, we spoke about the e-platform from before, right? What would you say if you had to pinpoint the most important topic that is there that entrepreneurs, especially within this sector, something you know that you have to do, but you haven't prioritized it as part of your business?
Great question, Shedrin. And I think it is the strategy. I think most of the entrepreneurs start with the heart in the right place. They know what they want to do, but then when you start working in your business, you get really focused on it, and many times you're not kind of like raising up your head to see if you are working in the path that you thought you were going to go. So your vision, right? Many times, and I think it's kind of like swimming, right? Like you can be swimming there, but if you never look up, you might be swimming the wrong way. But you need to keep up looking up and keeping your mission and your vision in place. And that's something that sounds very trivial, and many times it sounds kind of like useless for the business. But in the long run, it is very useful, and it is very important to have a clear vision, a clear mission of what your business is meant to do and what is the objective of your business. And having that in mind for you and the employees in your company, I think it is crucial. And I would dare to say that I haven't found many entrepreneurs that have this very clear. They have kind of like an idea, but once you start digging in, they haven't really implemented this into kind of like their strategy. So that's one of the points, I think.
And I think when you get to the point that you're looking for funding or you're looking for persons to buy into your business, what is important in this sector is not just the revenue that you're making, but the impact that your business is having. So I think being able to actually measure that impact and trying to figure out, does the impact that I'm measuring align with, like what you said, in terms of your mission that you're trying to achieve? So yes, people are looking for an investor. The investor isn't looking solely for a return on his investment, but also to actually make an impact, right? So you're looking at it from both aspects, especially within this sector. So I'm seeing some persons already sending messages on the chat here as well. So I want to kind of dive into the program. So gentlemen, thank you. And feel free to stick around, right, before we close off. I want to bring back in Shan to kind of talk specifically around the program, the launch of the program, and what is going to take place in the program itself. So Shan?
So we are currently still in the application phase. So applications are open up to February 24th. So the Carnival people, we gave you a little break, but you have until the 24th to get your application in. This is going to be an 8-week program where every week we are going to be covering a module. But I'm taking the question that you asked, Cesar, but in a different way, Shadron.
Okay.
One of the critical things that I love about the program is the peer-to-peer support. So the program, it's e-learning. So we are on a virtual platform that is going to be covering different topics every week. You will also be getting mentorship support, because why make the same mistakes if you don't need to when there's somebody else who has walked the path and can steer you in the right direction. That's also one of the amazing things. But even in my experience, having participated in a number of programs as well, one of the things that I enjoyed is the peer-to-peer support. Really engaging with my other classmates or colleagues in the space and learning from each other. And they may have, because as Cesar and Kevin was just saying, you know, sometimes when your head is down and you're working in the business, you don't see some of the other things, your blinders, you're like a horse with blinders on. But sometimes it's always wonderful if somebody else can see something or thinks of something that you may not have even considered. And admittedly, that has happened with me, you know, where somebody said, oh, Sean, well, have you thought of doing it this way? And I'm like, well, no. You know, I didn't even think doing it that way would have even been possible. So peer-to-peer support, I think, is an amazing opportunity, but it also allows you an opportunity to collaborate as well. So there may be opportunities that you both can come join together and pitch for or apply for, or, you know, so that opportunity to connect with each other as well, other than learning from each other, is an amazing thing. And one of the other things that I wanted to add to, but this is a more so a general comment, is that waste management really has traditionally been on the onus of the state. So for us, it would be the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and more specifically, our state waste company, which we all know is the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company, SWIMCOL. But what is amazing is that people are seeing the opportunity in waste. When I read articles, you see waste is big business, you know, on the headlines and stuff, because there is a business opportunity. There's money to be made in this space. However, because it may be seen as, I say sometimes the last is the bad child, is the child in the naughty corner for environmental topics. Waste management is the last one that people gravitate to. I'm a weirdo in that way, where waste was the first thing that I gravitated to. But you know, it presents an opportunity for people to see the opportunity in coming into the space and developing products and services that can have an impact, as you just said, Shadron. So it's an 8-week program. You have the opportunity to have e-learning, mentorship sessions. We are going to also have peer-to-peer support, where you get the opportunity to talk to each other as well, you know, and helping you to be able to answer the question, how do I solve this urgent problem? Because that's what we're in business for. We're in business to solve a problem. You know, if you are thinking about how can I scale the company, that's also something that you will benefit from the program. If you are interested in getting investment, even if it's a grant or a donation or an equity investment, you know, what would that look like for you? How do you even begin to think about those processes? And of course, we're not here to stay at the same level all the time. How can you grow and strengthen your business? So all of those things are what we are going to be covering in the program. We start March 8th and we end April 26th. If my math is correct, I might be off by a couple of days. But that's how long the program is going to run, and then you graduate from the program and you can always be able to say that you've been a part of an accelerator. I was so excited when I got the yes, I was on a in a program kind of thing. So it's an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, and I think the most important things I think to take away from there, although our youth business Trans-Tobago is not just focused on youth, right? We're looking for anyone within the sector to apply and come in, and it's Caribbean wide. So while we're in Trinidad based here, it's going to be delivered online. The e-learning office with a self-learning aspect. So feel free if you're anywhere in the Caribbean to join one as well. But I think when we talk about those peer-to-peer supports, what is different from other programs, you're not just learning from other entrepreneurs, but you're learning from other entrepreneurs who are in this sector, right? So you're learning from persons who are in your sector, and you can bounce off ideas about what can be done, right? So who knows, you might even find a business partner that you want to join and merge two businesses, right? Anything can happen.
Like partnerships make the world go round, you know, so you never know. You might find your next business partner in the program, and you all can, you know, go off and do amazing things together. So there's room for opportunity, because oftentimes, you know, sometimes you do programs, so they feel like they're not really talking my language, they don't really understand my space. You know, this is an opportunity for you to have you are working on your business in this space, but the program is specifically designed for you, which is really important. So you don't have to try and figure out, well, they're not talking to me, and I don't know how I'm going to apply that to waste management or what I do in waste. This is specific to what you're doing.
Great. So thank you, Shan, and thank you, Caesar. Thank you, Kevin. And folks, thank you for joining us, right? I think so. You've kind of got a bit of information. We have a bit more information on our website, so feel free to check out the website. We're going to post the link with this recording as it rolls over from there. So you'll have the recording and you'll have the link. For those who are looking at us live and you're looking at us on Youth Business, you scroll along. I'm sure you will see it. Probably 3 posts right there, right there. Right, you'll find it there as well. So with that, thank you. Have a great rest of the day. Just remember the application deadline is February the 24th. That's just now. Right. So feel free. The application process is pretty smooth. What we're looking for is to make sure the program can be beneficial to the persons that enter the program. So that key of challenges and program support, that is one of the key things that we're going to be looking at. Remember, there's no age barrier, so feel free to join in. We're specifically looking for persons who are already kind of operating within the sector, whether it be from early stage as well, right? We're looking at persons who are operating within the sector. So with that, folks, thank you again. I usually say it's been real, it's been nice, it's been real nice. So I'll see you all next time. Take care.